Hey guys, so I'm back with another update on the DR8. Done a couple of modifications, fixed a couple of things, so yeah, jump straight in. So as you might notice, some little orange pieces here. I know you can get some proper armour clips to hold your clips in place, but yeah, I didn't know where they were going to attach, so I made my own. So a little bit of string literally tied around the screw there with a washer. Actually just melted the knot so that it wouldn't break, and did the same this end, and you can actually hold that and it's strong enough, just pull it off and you don't lose them. So a simple one, makes it a lot easier to get them off and back on as well actually. So if I take the lid off now, I'm going to show you what else I've done. So inside here I have extended these leads. Now the actual wires on the front bar had ripped off because they've been pulled. It's just too short. So someone else said this on YouTube, I forget the name of the guy, but yeah, just lengthen those, makes it a lot easier to get the lid on and off. Okay, so also after the last time I said it was pretty dirty, give it a bit of a clean. I've been out a few times since then anyway, but this needed some sort of let's say splash guard, mud guard, whatever. So old protein tub, cut up, moulded to shape there. Works for treat, doesn't fail the steering or anything. Yeah, really really cheap, simple, very lightweight, so it's not going to really add any weight. Not the best looking bolts, but hey, it holds it in place. So yeah, that's solid, comes out nicely. And it made a massive difference, because the trouble is the lid when you've got it on. So if I show you the lid, you see that's a massive gap there, so when the wheels turned it just flicks all the crap straight up inside there, and the weather's crap at the moment, so it was a right mess inside. When I got it back after the last run, I was going through mud and everything, and yes, there was still a bit of mud around the back here, but this was pretty much clean up to about here, so it just makes it life a lot easier. And obviously around this area there's lots of tight areas you can't get to, very difficult. So yeah, that made a bit of a difference. Enjoy, you know, that's a good one. I've replaced the servo, as I said I broke it last time. So this was a 25 kg servo. I'll stick a link on the comments on the list description below. But yeah, that's it's a bit of a longer arm that came with it, so I'll put that on. Figured that would be faster, and yeah, it is a little bit faster. I don't think it's any that much faster than the last one, if not the same. But it seems to have held up all right. Just be careful to, yeah, you know, trim your steering max, because obviously when you've got a longer arm it's going to move a bit more, so you're going to hit the end stops and you're going to put pressure on the servo and knacker another servo, so you have to drop that down a bit. Another one as well, actually, while I'm there, is you can't really see it that clearly on here because of this cover, but this arm here actually fouls the this metal brace here. So what I did is I put a washer underneath. I did this like on the old servo, but what it does mean is that the washer lifts it up, so it just skims across the top of this piece. If I didn't have that on, it'd be a lot easier to see, but it means then you get your full lock, because when I first had it, it was hitting, putting out, and it would turn full one way but not the other way. So that just makes it just a simple washer. It's straightforward. Okay, yeah, 1 second. What else? So also received this the other day, and this is the 5000K pure silicone oil for the sensor diff. So that's been fitted, and boy, does that make a difference. I mean, it almost feels like it's locked out, but it's not. But yeah, you get so much more drive to the back, you don't get your ballooning from the front, so really good mod. I think it could still possibly do with that thicker oil in the diff for the front and back, but not too concerned. I'm going to take it out a few more times, see how I get on with it. But if not, I think it's 30,000 and 50,000 for the back. It could be the other way around. I'm not professional on that. I'm going to find out off somebody else who's done it, but yeah, I'll give that a go at some point. Yeah, also, actually, I forgot to mention the servo, the last servo. Actually, wasn't broken, wasn't stripped. I took it apart just to see, and there's like a miniature version of that gear on the actual motor. All the other gears were intact, there was no stripping or anything, they're all metal gears. It is only a 15 kilo one that came with it, but basically it was just spinning on the shaft of the motor. So I just pushed it down, and actually just pushing it down made it grip, and it seemed to work fine. I did then add a bit of glue just to make sure that it wouldn't come off, but now I've got myself a spare servo. So yeah, it's always good to have spares. The new one came with a load of spares as well. Not that I necessarily need those, but hey, they're there just in case. So I have also ordered myself a set of pinions. So I've got 13 to 16 tooth here, all the way up. So 13, 14, 15, 16. This is a 12 tooth as standard. Now this car is rated to do 60 mile an hour. Actually says on the box 100 kilometers an hour. I don't think that's actually true, and I'll tell you why. Because this car was actually manufactured in a different country under a different name, or a different company under a different name. The Really Raptor, as well as the Atom 6S, whatever. And I think there's others, but basically in the manual for the Really Raptor, you've got a 14 tooth pinion that's provided with the car, and it states that you need that to achieve the 60 mile an hour speed. So in theory, if that's the same, the 12 tooth won't. I don't know what it will do, but the 14 tooth is what gets you to 60. I mean, don't get me wrong, this car is as fast as hell on 6S, so I really don't see that as a problem, it not coming with it. But it could be that it's a bit of a lie. But I want to do some speed runs, which is why I bought the pinions, to see what this can do on road and on grass as a good comparison, with different pinions. Unfortunately, obviously the weather's crap, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. So this is why I'm just doing an update video. It was hopefully going to be the next video, but yeah, that's the pinions right there to give a whirl on. I'll probably try going to 14, see what that does. Do a 12 run, do a 14 run, then do a 16 run, see what I get. Yeah, so watch this space for that. So basically that's what I've done to the car. I must say I'm loving this car more and more. Every time I use it, I'm giving it such a beating. Not intentionally, you know, I'm just crashing it. I mean, I'm pretty new to driving something this quick, so I'm still getting used to it, but it doesn't half take a beating. I mean, a couple of my friends, you know, the cars are braking and this thing's just holding up. But one thing I did want to say is I cannot recommend enough, and some people might cringe at this, but if you go out and let me just drop this over here, and you break something, twice this has happened to me, where these bad boys have allowed me to continue using that battery. I mean, for example, you may or may not know this, but in one of my last videos I showed you I broke this. The original one's plastic and I replaced it with the aluminium piece. But actually, while I was out, I got a full battery, and I'm like, well, I want to carry on going. This is frustrating. Well, a couple of these cable ties around through there, around the back to the other side and back again, held that in place lovely. Okay, yeah, you got a bit of restriction on the suspension, so it's not performing perfectly, but man, that got me another, what, 40-50 minutes of runtime, and they were still working when I got back. Stick yourself a few cable ties in your box and it can save your ass. But the same thing happened, which actually I haven't mentioned yet, but the last time I went out, oh look, it's still there. This, which I've actually ordered, they should be coming today, but the shock shaft end, it's got a little loop inside there. Now basically it just pulled straight off, and it didn't break it, it did break it, it split it, but it returned to its shape, so you could hardly tell it had broken. It was just hanging about. It's quite a flexible piece of plastic. So yeah, so I pushed it back over and cable tied it through the bottom there. You can see the split there, look, there you go. And what that did was held it on, and again another, well, that was the start of the 6S battery, so I managed to carry on running the 6S, and that didn't affect it one little bit. So like I said, I always want to put the proper parts back on, so I ordered them, but cable ties, brilliant. So I've also purchased myself a new GoPro head mount, so I can do some better footage. I tried attaching my phone to my controller, and because of the way I hold the controller, I don't know if you noticed, but I kind of do it strange compared to other people, and it means that the phone is off at an angle, and also I'm not following the car, and I find it very difficult to follow the car. You know, some of these pros, they're filming while they're doing it, and well, you know, great, I think that's impressive, but yeah, I couldn't do it. So I bought myself a head cam, because at the end of the day I'm following the car with my eyes and my head, so that should get me some good footage for bashing. So I'm going to stick a link to all these parts below, should you want to purchase them and do the same things. So have a look at my next video as well. It's got a new toy coming. It's an unboxing, so again, no bashing, sorry, but those kind of videos will be coming soon. Guys, I have to make a correction as well about from the last video. I said that the oil was too thick in these. Actually, you know what, I'd said at the time that I'd tightened a few things up and it was a bit tight, and then I loosened it and it came back. Well, actually, it's perfect now. It was just too tight. I'd tightened everything up. So, you know, check things that aren't loose, but don't over tighten them, because, you know, it's supposed to be loose. And I realised that once I took it all apart. But yeah, just thought I'd add that in. Right, well, that's it then. So if you like what you see today, just give me a like, please, and please subscribe, stick a comment below. Don't forget to hit the bell button if you want notifications for the next videos, because there will be some good bashing coming up and some speed runs with those pinions. So thanks for watching, and see you soon, guys.